If ignorance is bliss, prepare to meet some unhappy people. Ignorant they're not, these teams have made it all the way to the Only Connect semi-final. They know they're just one step away from the final, but then so does anyone who's heard the word semi-final before. So good luck all. I know whoever loses tonight will have a very bitter taste in the mouth. But that's what happens when you try to console yourself with a BBC sandwich. In contention, on my right, Holly Pattenden, a strategy analyst and Oxford Classics graduate with a passion for the works of Homer and a love of the Mediterranean. Gareth Price, a magazine editor and history buff who loves Formula One racing and attending classic motor shows. And their captain, Dom Tate, an associate editor and indie music enthusiast who has snorkeled with a manatee and been attacked by a tarantula. That was just in his first heat. All fans of the written word, they are the Scribes. Dom, you've beaten the ciphers and the TEFL teachers so far. How are you feeling about your semi-final opposition?
I think they're quite daunting. I think they're clearly very good. And it's going to be incredibly tough to beat them. But we like a challenge, so we'll go for it. You are meeting on my left Brian Pendrick, a journalist and vertigo sufferer whose wedding was emceed by Andrew Marr. Chris Brewis, a journalist and Sunderland FC supporter who wrote to the Football Federation to suggest a change to the rules of the game, which they adopted just 20 years later. And their captain, Dave Taylor, a retired transport manager who has donated blood 94 times and once represented Germany in the European Quizzing Championships because they were short of players. They enjoy putting pen to paper. They're the Wordsmiths. Dave, you've beaten the Educators and the Wintonians to get to the semi-final. What's your strategy tonight?
Hopefully have a massive lead going into the missing vowels round because we're hopeless at it.
Is there any area of general knowledge you're hoping won't come up?
Anything to do with music after 1970-ish. And
OK, you said that during your heat. You still haven't learned about music after 1970, even though you're in the semi-final.
No. And also computer games and anything to do with the kids nowadays.
Well, that rules out most things. Let's play the quiz. In round one, teams, I just want to know what's the connection between four apparently random clues. All right, Scribes, you've been put in first. What are you going to go for?
We're going to go for lion, please.
All right. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
OK, lift hill above 200 foot, I presume that means. Let's go next, please. OK. Is this what the standard should be? Next, please. Ooh, that's. Is this when it becomes hyper? Hyperinflation. I don't know.
Hypertension.
Hypertension. So yeah, shall I go for that?
Yeah, why not?
OK. Is that when they become hyper?
It absolutely is. In that first clue, that's a roller coaster. When it's got a lift hill of 200 foot or more, that's a hyper coaster. You didn't need to see the last one, which would have been speed going to hypersonic. Hyper is the connection. Well done to you. Off the blocks. And Wordsmiths, it's your turn.
The Eye of Horus, please.
All right, time for you to find a connection. Here's the first clue.
Next one, please. Oh, is this the one that's something that made history?
Yes.
Next, the shot that made history.
We'll go on. Let's say next.
Next one, please.
Yeah.
Shots that made history.
History, yeah. Shots that were heard around the world, or made history.
They're all shots that made history or were heard around the world.
That's exactly what they are, described as shots heard round the world. Dick Cheney, what did he do in 2006?
I think he shot somebody on a hunting expedition by accident.
Well, so he claims. He shot a 78-year-old lawyer. We have to hope it was an accident. Bobby Thompson, what was that?
I think it was in a World Series that... Was it the Boston Red Sox? That never
he won the National
years,
League pennant. It was actually for the New York Giants. in a baseball game. Assassination of Archduke Ferdinand caused start of the First World War. And you didn't need to see start of the American Revolution. That's from a poem by Emerson in 1837. So well before 1970 and in your comfort zone. Shots heard around the world. Well done for the points. And back to you, Scribes.
Horned Viper, please.
OK. The music question. What's the connection between these lovely sounding clues? Here's the first.
Next, please.
Theme from Thomas Tallis.
The theme from Thomas Tallis, is that what it's
Fantasia
named?
on a theme from Thomas Tallis.
Fantasia on a theme
by Vaughan Williams.
OK. Next, please.
That's Rachmaninoff. These are classic FM sort of top choices.
10 seconds.
Oh, next, please. What's that?
3 seconds.
Are they all specifically for young people?
No, they're not. Wouldn't it be lovely if they were? All young people should be listening to that sort of thing. That is not the specific connection. So let me go to the young people on my left.
They're all bits of music that the tune is by another composer, and other composers have used that tune to do their own variations or...
I'll accept it. They're written on the theme of another composer. Do you know any of the particular ones you heard?
The second one was the Rhapsody on a Theme of Thomas Tallis by Vaughan Williams.
So there's Fantasia on a theme by Thomas Tallis. That's Vaughan Williams.
The Rachmaninoff on a theme of Paganini.
That beautiful third piece was that, indeed.
And the fourth one is the young person's guide to the orchestra, which is Benjamin Britten on a theme of Purcell.
Brilliant.
I think the first one probably sounded like... It sounded like it was Beethoven, but I don't know what the...
Oh, just one more piece of information. It was Beethoven's...
Well, I'll work on the fact that it's a bit by Handel. Yeah.
Diabelli Variations.
Oh, yeah.
But a really brilliant answer. Pieces written on the theme of another composer. Well done. You get the bonus point and the chance to choose your own question.
Twisted Flax, please.
Twisted Flax. How twisted is the connection going to be here? Here's your first clue.
Where he's born or something, or places made up. I don't know,
please.
Jane Seymour, maybe where she was married. Could be where she's married or buried.
The next one, please. That's where
these hearts are kept. Hearts are kept, yeah.
There's places where the people's hearts are buried.
Exactly right. The locations of buried hearts, people whose bodies are buried elsewhere. Thomas Hardy's ashes are where?
In Westminster Abbey.
They're in Westminster Abbey, but his heart at Stinsford. Jane Seymour's buried at Windsor with Henry VIII, but her heart's at Hampton Court, Robert the Bruce, Melrose Abbey. And you didn't need to see Chopin, whose heart is in Warsaw, preserved in Cognac. His heart, like my own liver. Their hearts are buried there. Well done. Scribes, back to you.
2 reeds, please.
2 reeds. What's the connection here? First clue coming up now.
OK, next, please. Do you know anything about the Duck Station?
Well, that's the singer.
Singer?
Patent or something.
Singer, OK. Next, please. Benzine Ring.
Do you know anything about that from Wales?
Next, please. It's by Suntail Coleridge. OK, well, what links Benzine Ring?
10 seconds.
Circular formation.
3 seconds.
Circular formations.
They are not. I'm just looking at them. They are not all circular formations. So there's a possible bonus again for you, Wordsmiths.
They were all thought up while the person was asleep or in a dream.
All of them inspired by dreams. Yes, Benzine Ring is a circular formation. That was dreamed up after a fellow dreamed of a snake grasping its own tail. The other one's Yesterday, written by Paul McCartney after a dream. Do you know what he originally called it?
Scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs, it was called. And the lock-stitch sewing machine, Elias Howe dreamed about... What do you think he dreamt about?
Sewing?
No, it wasn't. It was being chased by warriors with spears. Gave him the idea for that. And Kubla Khan you perhaps know was written by Coleridge after a sort of opium dream. He was interrupted by...
His landlady. No idea.
It wasn't his landlady. Who was it?
A man from Porlock.
A person from Porlock, so they say. The evil person from Porlock who interrupted that great dream. So once again, Wordsmiths, you get the bonus, and you're going to get the last question. Water. These are, of course, picture clues. What's the connection? Here's the first.
Next. Some sort of flower. Next, please. Oh, they're not sort of... they're going... Next, please.
Oh, that's a snake, isn't it? Isn't that Rubik's snake?
Next, please. That's a sort of phonograph generator or something like that, right?
10 seconds.
Weather.
3 seconds.
Press something.
Rainbows.
Not the answer, I'm afraid, so you've got a bonus chance now, Scribes.
Prefaced by nationalities?
That's not it either, although it is to do with the name. They are all known as a Jacob's ladder, that little plant of the Polemonium genus, some crepuscular rays, there's a folk toy there, and a high-voltage electrical arc, all known as Jacob's ladder. At the end of round 1, the Scribes have got 2 points, the Wordsmiths are ahead with 6. Round 2 is the sequences round. Scribes, you'll be going first again. I want to know what's fourth in a sequence. Which hieroglyph are you going to choose?
Eye of Horus, please.
OK. First clue in a sequence coming up now.
Next, please.
Thunderbirds and... oh, really? Was that stingrays?
OK. Next, please.
So, what's the order here? It's going to be something to do with Joe 90 or Captain Scott.
OK, do you happen to know, then, what the name is?
I couldn't tell you what the organisation
that might be a bit of a problem.
10 seconds.
Captain Scarlet's organisation.
Is it Thunderbirds? No, that's the third one.
3 seconds.
Smirsh.
That is not the answer, I'm afraid, so there's a bonus chance for the Wordsmiths.
They're Jerry Anderson shows working for... It's Joe 90, but you're going to want his organisation.
You gave me the name of an organisation. You told me the Jerry Anderson shows. The organisation I'm looking for is Spectrum.
Spectrum.
Organisations that the hero works for in successive series. World Space Patrol from which show?
Fireball XL5?
Yes, it is. World Aquanauts Security Patrol from...
Stingray.
Stingray, known as WASP. International Rescuers, of course. Thunderbirds. And Spectrum is from...
Captain Scarlet.
Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons. Very good general Jerry Anderson knowledge, but I didn't get the name. Back to you, Wordsmiths, to choose a question.
Horned Viper, please.
All right. What is the fourth in this sequence? First clue coming up now.
Number 4, payment for members. Next, please. What's something to do with
Changes in policy. Payment for members will be most recent. That's what they brought in for the Great Reform Bill. We don't
next one, please.
Universal suffrage. One universal suffrage. Votes for women. No. Universal. Well, that would be votes for women. I think we're trying that. Yeah. Universal suffrage. I think votes for
3 seconds.
universal suffrage.
Number 1, universal suffrage.
Have another go.
Vote for women.
I'm afraid that's not the answer. There's a bonus chance for the Scribes.
Go on, then. OK, number 1, age restriction.
That's not it either. You will forgive me, Wordsmith, for not giving it to you for universal suffrage. It was vote for every man. Never mind the women. They'll have the tea ready when you get back from the polling booth. This was the Chartists, the People's Charter of 1838, and their first requirement, votes for every man, not universal. So no points there. Back to you, Scribes, to choose a question.
2 reads, please.
2 reads. What's the fourth in the sequence? I can tell you they're going to be picture clues, so what would you expect to see in the fourth picture? Here's the first.
Double-breasted one, isn't it?
Next, please.
A banana, so scheme, yellow connection would link catamaran and banana.
banana boat. I mean,
Are they just words with decreasingly few, all A's, but decreasingly few?
So something-
better go. Next, please. Macaw. Could be macaw.
Yes, something with one A in it. A word with one A in it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, a word with one A in it. Okay. Cat.
We went with hat. But very good, you should have come in after 2 clues. Can you explain your thinking?
Catamaran has 4 A's in it, banana has 3 A's in it, and macaw has 2 A's in it, so you wanted something with 1 A in.
And specifically, alternate letter A's. There's a consonant and a consonant and A. You may not have spotted that, but cat does fit in the sequence, so very well done. Wordsmiths, what's it to be?
Twisted flax, please.
All right, what would you expect to see as the 4th in this sequence? Here's the first.
Next, please.
It's a number of something. It's something, a board game, is it?
Next, please.
18. Oh, there's 2. Is it words? These are symbols of football teams. Right. So that's Prince Rupert, that's Everton, Arsenal, Liverpool. The heck's the last one? That's going to come after that.
5 seconds.
It's Manchester United. 19, Manchester United.
2 seconds.
19, and what's their symbol?
Red Devil.
Red Devil.
I'll accept it. And what's the reason?
It's the number of times they've won the league.
I'll leave it to my football correspondent.
Right. Number 9, Everton. Prince Rupert's Tower is a symbol of Everton, who've won the league 9 times. The cannon is a symbol of Arsenal, who've won it 13 times. The liver bird's a symbol of Liverpool, who've won the league 18 times. And Manchester United, who are the Red Devils, have won it 19 times.
Red Devil or ship also on the badge. Manchester United, I mean, it's 19 as we record it. No doubt in the last 5 minutes they've won 12 more. Number of titles won by Manchester United as represented by Red Devil. Well done. And back to you, Scribes.
Lion, please.
OK, what's the 4th in this sequence? Here's the first.
No, yeah, absolutely right. Oh, Adams. Yeah, OK, next, please. Yeah, OK. Oh, Lord. Yeah, next, please. So it's the ones who shared surnames, and what's the relation of the next one? And therefore it is Bush and it is Son. Is that correct? Is there anyone in between that we've missed out? I don't think...
10 seconds.
I think it would be Bush, Son. Bush, Son.
Is the correct answer. And why is that?
These are the presidents where there's been 2 of the name and they've been related. So there was John Adams, John Quincy Adams, and then Benjamin Harrison and William Henry Harrison.
Quite right.
And Theodore and Franklin Roosevelt. And then, of course, George H.W. and George W. Bush.
That's right. The younger Bush, the son of the previous, was the next president with the same surname. Well done. 1 question remains for you, Wordsmiths. Water. What is the 4th in this sequence? Here's the first.
24th of the day, 24th of June.
Next, please.
2, 4, 6, 5, 6. Next.
Next, please.
It's numbers, isn't it?
10 seconds. 3 seconds.
07/06 2354.
That is not the answer. Scribes, do you want to have a go for a
I would
bonus?
have been gutted if they'd guessed that.
Good luck.
05/07 2435.
It's interesting. I'm getting a sense that you both know what the connection is. What's the connection?
I don't know.
No idea? Oh, well, what you said actually subscribed to it, but it wasn't X in a sequence. They are dates with no repeated digit. Dates where no one digit comes up twice. And the next along will be the very next day, 1806 2345. Dates where you only get the digits once going forwards through time. At the end of round 2, then, the Scribes are up to 6 points. The Wordsmiths are ahead with 8. We were worried that wasn't quite difficult enough, so we've multiplied everything by 4. It's time for the connecting wall. Wordsmiths, your turn to go first this time, and you have a choice, lion or water.
Water, please.
OK, you have 2.5 minutes to solve the water wall, starting now.
Jim Dale. Oh, we've got carry-on characters.
4 in hand, stand up. Gig.
Handsome.
4 in hand, handsome. Stand up. Gig.
No.
We've also got carry-on characters. Windsor, James, Jack.
Places
Yeah,
Jim
the 4
Dale.
in hand.
Yeah.
Peel.
That's Connor.
Douglas, Castletown, Ramsey.
Right, we're down to 5 for carry-on. Connor, James, Dale, Jack, Windsor.
What's that? Connor?
Connor, James, Jack in the corner, Jack in the corner.
Right. Oh, right.
3 strikes now, be careful.
Strike out, stand up.
No, we're good at horses.
Gig, Surrey, right, we're on Handsome, Gig, Surrey are all carriages. So's an Oriental.
Is it? Oh, right.
So's a Windsor, I think. What is 4 in hand?
What's Pratt?
Pratt changed his... Pratt was the name of Quentin Crisp and also the name of Boris Karloff.
Right.
People that have changed their name don't know who stand-up is, but we know we've got carriages in there. What's 4 in hand?
4 hands a carriage.
It's a carriage as well.
Unfortunately, yeah.
You're about halfway through the time.
Right.
So 4 in hand must be
So
a
what are the
carriage.
others? What can the others be?
Yeah.
Surrey, we know is a carriage, could be something else.
Someone else.
Oriental's a carriage. Handsome's likely to be a carriage, isn't it?
But he was also an architect as well.
Right. Is Pratt an architect? And Stanhope?
Stand up's an architect. That one, and that one.
Yeah, go try
Shall I
it.
try that?
Yeah.
Try it.
OK, 2 lives now.
Okay.
Right, 4 in hand must be a carriage.
Yeah. Gig's going to be a carriage.
Oriental, you reckon's a carriage, it's not a name.
Yeah.
Try it.
Got 30 seconds.
And Surrey?
try.
Surrey?
No, we've tried
Pratt
that.
then? Or Windsor?
1 life remaining.
So 4 in hand, Gig, Oriental. Handsome, okay. Yeah.
We've messed it up again. Never mind.
No, that's not it, and the wall's frozen, but you found 2 groups. I'll give you war points for the connections. Douglas, Castletown, Ramsey, Peel.
Towns on the Isle of Man.
Isle of Man.
Yes, they are in fact the only 4 official towns on the Isle of Man. Connor, James, Dale, Jacques. Or Jake, or is it Jake's?
People who've appeared in Carry On films.
That's right. Kenneth, Connor, Sid, James, Jim, Dale, Hattie, Jakes from the Carry On films. More points available for the connections in the groups you didn't find, so let's resolve the wall. Right, Stanhope or Stanhope, Gig, Handsome, Surrey.
Carriages.
Types of carriages.
Any more?
Horse-drawn carriages.
Horse-drawn carriages. Yes, I'd have thought Handsome was the famous one, actually.
Yeah.
But you get the point. And the last one, Pratt, Windsor, Oriental, 4 in hand. I can't give you long.
Hands and cards? Don't know.
No, that's too long, I'm going to have to tell you. They are knots used for neckties.
Oh.
Knots, those
Pair of
ones.
Windsors, no.
But you found 2 groups and you get 3 more points for the connections. That's a total of 5. Time to bring in their opponents now, the Scribes, see how they fare with the other connecting wall. Equally difficult, same basic principle. Hello, Scribes. You're going to get the lion wall. You've got 2.5 minutes to solve it, starting now.
Okay, female assassins, Leon, Nikita are different types of assassins.
Besson films?
Yeah, okay. Subway.
Leon is
Leon and
Besson.
Nikita? Yeah, okay. Very good. Spanish bank, there are banks here, aren't there? Santander, Yorkshire, What Egg is also a type of bank.
Clydesdale's a bank.
Pamplona, Burgos.
Percheron is a horse, and Suffolk is a
Northern
horse.
Rock,
Lido.
Egg.
Okay, sorry, I should probably hit something,
Spanish
shouldn't
cities.
I? Okay, Pamplona, Salamanca, and
Santander.
Burgos? Okay, right.
3 lives now, so be careful.
Percheron is a horse. Clydesdale is a horse.
Suffolk's a
is a
horse.
horse. And we
And
just
Belgian is, there's a Belgian
need... It's more
horse.
likely to be that because the others are definitely banked.
Okay, try
Yeah.
the banks.
That's it, you've solved the wall. Goodness me. Do you think this was a particularly easy one, or you just had a good fish breakfast?
Just our area.
Let's find out if you know the connection. So the first one, Nikita, Subway, Leon, or Leon, the Fifth Element.
Luc Besson films.
Films by Luc Besson, quite right. What about the next one? Pamplona, Salamanca, Toledo, or Burgos?
Spanish cities.
I'll take it. Anything more you'd like to tell me about them?
They've got famous bullfighters.
They probably do, actually. The Spanish are nice like that. What I was actually looking for is inland Spanish cities. They probably all have bullfights, though. More's the pity. What about the next group? Suffolk, Belgian, Clydesdale, Percheron.
They're all types of horse.
Any more?
Are these sort of draft horses, big ones?
they are.
Draft horses, that's exactly what they all are. Well done. And Egg, Northern, Santander or Santander, Yorkshire or Yorkshire.
The banks.
Any more?
OK, well...
I mean, I'm going to accept banks,
Oh, OK.
but tell me more if you can.
Egg was an offshoot of Prudential and was online. Santander was part of Abbey National. Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying bank facts for the fun of it.
I tell you what they are, depressingly. They are British banks owned by foreign groups. That's what they all are, but I will take banks. So, 4 points for finding the groups, 4 more points for the connections. I'm going to give you an extra 2 points for getting it all right. We do usually do that, it's not an exception. That's the maximum of 10 points. Very well done. Let's see how that leaves the scores going into the final round. The Wordsmiths have got 13 points, but the Scribes are now ahead with 16. And if you're watching Only Connect for the first time, my lord, you must be baffled. But you might be interested to hear we also have a website where you can play Connecting Walls and even write your own. Imagine that. All change here and may change again as we play the Missing Vowels round. This will decide who goes into the final. Fingers on buzzers teams. I can tell you the first group are all charities founded in the UK. Scribes?
Bernardo's.
Correct. Wordsmiths?
Action Aid.
Correct. Scribes?
Marie Curie Cancer Care.
Correct. Scribes?
Woodland Trust.
Correct. Next category, medical conditions and their common names. Scribes?
Tetanus and lockjaw.
Correct. Scribes?
Hansen's disease and leprosy.
Correct. Scribes?
Sorry.
I'm afraid you lose a point. Wordsmiths, do you want to have a go?
Pyresis and heartburn.
I'm afraid that's not it, but you don't lose a point. It's pyrosis and heartburn. Next clue. Scribes?
Pertussis and whooping cough.
Correct. Next category, celebrity children with unusual names. Scribes?
Apple Martin.
Correct. Scribes?
Suri Cruz.
Correct. Don't know this one. It's Nicolas Cage's unlucky child, Kal-El Coppola. Next clue. Scribes?
Your Majesty Jackson.
Oh, yes. Next category, songs from musicals. Don't know this one. It's Memory from Cats. Next clue. Scribes?
Tonight from West Side Story.
Correct. That tricky final clue was Aquarius from Hair. But that musical sound means it's the end of the quiz. And looking at the final scores, after an excellent performance in the series, the Wordsmiths have got 14 points. But the winners, and through to the final with 25 points, are the Scribes. Very well done to you. You're through to the final. And Wordsmiths, I'm pleased to say, we'll be seeing you again for the third place playoffs. You regular viewers, please do join me next time, if you can. If you have a social engagement, I'll understand. I'll be surprised, but I'll understand. Goodbye.
Valdemar Januszczak's brand new series continues here on BBC4 this week, bringing the so-called Dark Ages into the light as he asks what the barbarians did for us from 9 tomorrow. Next, though, paying tribute to a natural history and BBC legend, Sir David Attenborough.